This is Angel Thanatos with GirlGamer.com. I'm here with Spiral Studios president David Prassel, and we're here to talk about his new game, which has gotten an overwhelming response for funding. It's called Orion. What do you hope to get out of GDC with all the funding? You've got funding, so you're looking for a publisher now?
Yeah, that's our main priority here, is to not only get a publisher, but to secure an actual studio space for the key developers. We have 22 people all over the world. I'm in Chicago, the VP is in London, our programmer's in Cuba, and I want to get the core people in one solid spot. So that's kind of coupled with finding a publisher, because the two go hand in hand. So that's our big priority here this year.
Orion is basically what a lot of viewers have been describing as like Killzone or Halo meets Dino Crisis. How did the story start? I guess this has been going on for a while in your head.
The game itself, that dates back to 1998 when I started first penning the idea originally. I've changed it about 4 times in terms of at least 90% of the game has changed. Not so much the story, but mostly design elements. We really got set on what we wanted to do back in the middle of 2010. We released a free prototype in December of 2009 called the Orion Project, or the Source Multiplayer Beta. We got quite a few downloads, and what we did with that was use it as an experimental prototype to kind of see if people would like it, even, and to use their feedback and apply it to our big picture, which is what we've just recently announced, which is Orion Prelude. And that's going to be our first studio endeavor, and it's a digital title. The big selling point about the game itself is the dinosaurs and the interaction that you have as a player with the dinosaurs. We have really cool things besides that, like jetpacks, other items like cloaking devices, medic guns. We have mechs, transforming mechs, which is really sweet. And some of the most visually stunning graphics headed to any of those digital markets like Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network.
A lot of people were wondering about the influence of the costume. It kind of looks like Isaac Clarke. So where did some of the inspiration come from?
Isaac was definitely an inspiration in terms of the small panel designs, which make up a larger suit. It just adds to the detail. Other inspirations were Mass Effect in terms of the tight, close to the body armor. Some of the older armors that people saw were very bulky and very far out from the body. The biggest influence was actually a random variety of Iron Man, mostly older suits. You started your first game company, or your first game, when you were 13, so tell us about that. I started my first one at 13 is what I say. I actually started at 11, but I don't like to talk about the early ones because they're just so embarrassing. But when I was 13, I really got heavily into game development, and that's actually when I started penning what is now Orion. And I've done various projects, mostly underground indie mod stuff. What
was the game that started it all? I mean, you obviously started thinking about creating games at such a young age. What was the game? Was there one game in particular that just really inspired you and said, you know, I want to make games?
This is really going to bite me in the ass when I say this, but it was 1998, July, Macworld. Before Bungie was bought by Microsoft, they premiered a game that no one knew at the time, and it was Halo. It was on PC and Mac, and when I saw that, it really gave me an idea of what gaming could be. And this is way back when, just huge open worlds and just this mysterious element, the music coupled with the art.